Episode 3, Part 1 of the Clone Armory I don't remember the name of it. The Clone Armory Overhaul mod? Something like that. So, we are showing off the 65th Coruscant Guard, and then as well the 212th Attack Battalion. We're kind of combining those two together. If you've missed the other two episodes, which are 2 parts apiece, so the other 4 videos, be sure to check them out. A link to the playlist for this particular series will be at the end of the video, so you can check it out there. But we've covered the 501st and then some named clones. And so, consequently, we've already actually seen Fox and Thorn, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. I'm also not going to spend a ton of time explaining things because I've already done that in the other videos, so we don't have to really go into a ton of detail. So the first one to really take a gander at is the 212th Officer Getup, which is inspired directly by the new Battlefront 2 game, the new one, not the old one, of course. So it looks really good. It's a nice little variety. So even if you didn't want to copy what the DICE team did to make a little bit of variety with the armors for the different classes, I still think it's really cool that we can take it and it still looks a lot like the 212th, so you can have a little bit of variety even if you want to give your own trooper stories. That's kind of the cool part of between this mod and XCOM 2 that you can do. Code we've already looked at. Not going to spend a lot of time on them. This is just the heavy get out, so the heavy legs, heavy torso. Let's do that instead. Again, it looks very good. It's a nice variety. You can definitely see the increase in quality, especially when it comes to stuff like the underlay under the armor, and I like the slightly different art direction with the different. It looks great, but I spent enough time in the other 2 videos ogling over it. It's just, it looks so good. Standard 212th Attack Battalion get up. Nothing incredibly special about it. It's definitely already an outfit we had in the game, but now with the new textures and everything, it looks really good. Again, nothing new to the game per se. We know that the comma is wrong before you say anything. I've mentioned that in the other videos, but I wanted to mention it quickly here. I'm using a work in progress build of the mod, which means things are missing and incorrect. And that's one of them is the comma. The standard comma is missing. But I did Barlicks, but of course you can do the outfit with the just the typical airborne insignia and the airborne helmet. It looks really cool. This is the specialist look. So again, not a whole lot to say about it. Different legs, different torso, different arms, same helmet, which will really add some variety, especially if you want to go for like a 212th only and you want your guys to be unique. Obviously, you're going to have the named ones like Boyle and Waxer, which we'll touch on in a second, but you can also have a lot of customization within the confines of the standards as well to give your characters a little bit of, well, character, for lack of a better term. We've got the Bark Trooper for the 212th, so the armor we've already taken a look at already with the other 212th, words are hard, troopers, but it looks awesome. And then we've got the 212th Bark helmet as compared to the other Barks that we've already seen. Boyle? Yeah, because I was like, Boyle has the big red mark in the middle of his forehead, which I always thought was probably a little on the nose. But Boyle, I think, has custom arms? And legs? Question mark? Not custom legs. But custom arms. Okay. And you kind of see how, I don't think I've shown this off in any of the other videos yet, but you can kind of see, you know, we get the pouches. And then, so you can have stuff on his back, but also stuff on his torso and things of that nature. And you can really, a lot of customization options to give your clones more character. The clones that I'm doing are more named clones and clones that other people have already made up and Poncho's put in the mod, and a lot less of custom clones. But you, of course, can customize to your heart's content. I mean, it's completely colorable, so, you know, you can go with whatever you want to go with. It's up to you. Well, Boyle looks awfully fine. Helmet, really cool. I really like the orange line there. I always thought Boyle's helmet was pretty nifty. Waxer, of course, also cool. Got the custom arm, got the custom helmet, of course, with the 212th and that little insignia of that little Twi'lek girl. however it's pronounced, from that one Clone Wars episode in Ryloth. It's just one of those cool little things I think that the show designers did to give the characters a little bit more character. Again, I'm so creative with my words. Then moving on to the 65th Coruscant Guard, we've got the standard shock trooper in all of his glory. Not a whole lot to say about it other than it looks amazing. It's a shock trooper. It's not an armor that hasn't been in the game for a long time, but you can really with the 212th or the 65th, if you wanted to compare them side by side, you could see the differences, and I might do a comparison. I'm not sure. But you can definitely see the up in detail with it all. Moving on, we've got the heavy variant from Battlefront 2, the new one, and so that's just what I based it off of. But of course, we've got the alternate legs, the alternate arms, and the alternate helmet, which I thought that the 65th heavy outfit for Battlefront 2 was really cool looking, anyways. So it enables you to put a lot of extra customization into your troopers that you make up if you didn't want to use a helmet for someone that already existed. You're not new. For the officer and the specialist, of course, they've got, if their arms and legs are different in Battlefront 2, then they've got them, but the helmets actually in Battlefront 2 are just the standard shock trooper helmet, but Poncho has gone and put in 2 other varieties of 65th helmets, and to show those off as effectively as I could think of a way, I put one on the officer and one on the specialist. But again, looks really, really good. The leg thing, not a glitch with the mod. I found that with like primary secondaries and the akimbo mod, for some reason the legs like to stay put, and so if you turn them just the right way, it looks like the clone really has to pee. But still very, very cool. And you could tell it was at this point that Thomas stopped trying to make up creative names starting with a particular letter and just started naming them. But we've got the specialist. It's really cool because he's got the lines, he's got the torso and the legs, but it's obviously made to stand out a little less, and I think it looks really cool. Then we've got Rathore and Ridley, which are 2 members of the Fists of Fordo squad, and I couldn't get a whole lot of information on it. I did find Rathore's number. I couldn't find like Ridley's number or anything like that, but if you want to tell me more in the comments about the Fists of Fordo, they might have an official name, I don't know. From what I could gather, there were some extension of the shock troopers on Coruscant. I don't know if they're part of the 65th or not, but I threw them in because they were the same color, and it really looks, when I look especially at Rathore's designs compared to Ridley's, that it's a variant of the shock trooper. But I think that they look really cool. Obviously they've got custom arms with the Jag eyes, which looks amazing. Custom torso, yeah, because you've got that dot on your torso. And then Ridley, of course, as well. As I understand it, there are also plans to put in Axe and Fordo as well to get the whole squad into the game proper, which is really, really exciting. So these are clones that we didn't have access to before. And even if you didn't want to make these clones again, and I've kind of emphasized it a lot in this video, but I really want to, is the fact that variety. All of these different ones can be mixed and matched. I mean, before it was a lot of arms, now it's left arm, right arm. So you can do the Ridley right arm, or the Ridley left arm, and Fives' right arm if you wanted to get that look. Now, of course, the ARC troopers have a forearm option, which is why that's missing. But you can, customize to your heart's content and really make a lot of unique custom clones for yourself, which is awesome. Then just to wrap up this in Avengers showcase, and then we will do a video on a battlefield at a later date, more than likely, just keeping up with what we've been doing. But we've got the Shadow Trooper, which I have since learned when I did this is part of the 212th Attack Battalion. I knew the armors were the same, but I didn't realize that the Shadow Troopers were an extension of the Attack Battalion, and they are, and it looks awesome. So it's got the red visor, which is really cool, and then Everywhere that's black is colorable, so if you wanted purple Shadow Troopers, then you certainly could do that. But I really like how it looks like black paint on the white armor instead of sometimes when you see, especially like in other games, sometimes with black Star Wars armor, sometimes it's really, really shiny, and I don't think that it should be. I think it should look like it's that black kind of plastic padding kind of stuff that they wear. There's a name for it, and I don't remember the name, but you can tell me down in the comments. But if you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe for the channel if you want to see more. If you're watching this, it's either Thursday the 13th or Friday the 14th. I have got a medical procedure, which means that if this is Friday, there's not going to be a live stream. If it's not Friday, then when Friday comes, there won't be a live stream. So just for those who care, keep you up to speed on that. Hopefully on Saturday, depending on how the procedure goes tomorrow, we might have a video up Saturday, or we might not have another one up till Monday, and that'll be the Space Marines, and then we'll be back with the clones after that. That's the plan. We'll see how well I do sticking to that. But thank you very much for watching, and until next time, guys, Jake Hardy.